Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Call Him like Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Bashim Atahakudash, and double honor to the elders and apostles, men of great millstone, and to the rest of the brethren on down is teaching and preaching the true doctrine of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, Shalom, Bayashah Dawada, and to Zakim and Akwat that's out there repenting, Shalom to you, Mashmatah. To you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who fathers go back to one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob, Yasha Allah, Shalom to you, Mashmatah. Shahakarab coming to you with just another quick one on this one, but I want to play this again, right?
Why do they teach and kick against the word Christian so hard? Why do you kick against it so hard? Why do you come against it so hard? Right? Why do you come with so much energy against that word when that word is in the Bible and that word is used in the Bible in a positive light? It's not used in a negative light. And
now I wanted to just, because I wanted to read these. It's just a quick one. I just wanted to read these other ones too, right? Because once again, he said that word is used in the scriptures as a positive light, not a negative. But what you don't understand, matter of fact, let's grab this. Let's get this other one just quick. When you go to Acts 11 chapter, right? And let's go down to the 26th verse. Now, what individuals need to understand is that who was being called that word Christianos in this place. So what it says right here, let's read it. It says what? We'll start at 25. Acts 11 and 25. Then departed Barnabas to Tarsus for to seek Saul, meaning Paul. And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves. They assembled themselves with the church, with the assembly of the Israelites, and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. Now, you think when it said, and the disciples were first called Christians in Antioch, you think it was talking about these right here? You think it was talking about these right here? In Matthew 10? It wasn't talking about the brothers. It wasn't talking about the 12. Neither was it talking about Barnabas or Paul or Simeon or Lucius or Manaen. It wasn't talking about them. It was talking about those about people that was being taught. See? It wasn't talking about the 12. When it said the disciples, it's not talking about that Matthew and Thomas and Peter and it ain't talking about them. That because they what? We're gonna grab this real quick. When you go into the word disciples, it means somebody that's learning, somebody that was taught, right? Now, when you come to this, right? When you go to, you see what it says right there. Methodist, a learner, pupil, disciple, right? Let's go back. Now, let's get apostle. Let's grab that. And it says what? A delegate, messenger, on one sent forth with others, especially applied to the 12 apostles of Mashiach, which what? They was apostles, teachers. In a broader sense, applied to other eminent Israelite teachers of Barnabas, of Timothy, and Silvanus. See? So the apostles was those that's teaching, right? They're disciples. So when you go back to Acts 11 and 26, and it says the disciples were first called Christians in Antioch, who was it talking about? Now, when you go into the NLT right here, it says what? Let's read 26 in the NLT. When he found him, he brought him back to Antioch. Both of them stayed there with the church, the assembly of the Israelites, for a full year, teaching large crowds of people. It was at Antioch that the believers who were first called Christians. Now, first of all, who was this large crowds of people first? Was it? See, it was talking about all people. No, let's go up and we're going to read it in the NLT. Who was these large crowds of people that they was teaching? Let's go up. Acts 11 and 19 in the NLT. You see it, and it says what? Meanwhile, the believers who had been scattered during the persecution after Stephen's death traveled as far as Phoenicia and Cyprus, Phoenicia, Cyprus, and Antioch of Syria. They preached the word of Yahweh, but to the Judites only. Let's go down to 20. However, some of the believers who went to Antioch from Cyprus and Cyrene began preaching to the Gentiles. And they'd be, oh, see, that was a large amount of people. All people know. Let's click on this and show you what Gentiles, what large crowds of people that they was teaching in there. Right? Of just showing you that who was being called Christianos. See, it was our people that was being called that because why? They spoke Greek. Let's grab it right quick. See? Now, when you go into the word right here, Slakia, Hellenistus, you see it says Greek, but it says Gentile there, it says Greek here, and in the KJV it says what? Grecian. When you click on this, it's going to tell you what? Hellenistus. It says a Hellenist, one who imitates the manners and customs of worship of the Greeks and use the Greek tongue. Used in the New Testament of Judites born in foreign lands and speaking Greek. So those individuals, those large crowds of people that they taught, those disciples, they was being called Christianos. It was Israelites. See? Now us knowing this, we don't like that word because these people don't use it in the true context of which the word is used, or to which the word should be applied. They use it from a universal standpoint. That's why we don't like it. See? That's why we don't use it. See? Because it applies to this modern day time period with these people. They say, no, everybody is a Christian, all people. That's why we don't like it. See? You have to understand the difference of the context of when the time this word was being used back then with our people. And now it's two totally different things. See? So who, it says that, so these large crowds of people, let's go back down to it, right? The NLT. It said they taught large, gotta go back to it real quick. And they taught, and they what? Taught large crowds of people. They was teaching. See? So you see what it said pertains to disciples. It's talking about pupils. Somebody that's learning. See? So it was talking about our people, Israelites that was in those places that was learning. They was being called Christians, or rather Christianos, not Christians, Christianos. See? Now, when you go into this real quick, and we don't like the word because the way people use the word Christianos or English and the Christian in English, you use it and you apply a universal concept to it. That is for anybody, everybody. No. That's why we don't like it. See? So it's better just to say MASHAYACHYA or referring to Mashiach, Yahushua, Mashiach. Why you want to say Christ? And why you want to say, oh, I'm a Christian? Why don't you just say MASHAYACHYA? Or just say, I'm an Israelite, if you know who you are. Well, don't just say that. Why you are using something in this term that the way these people use it in today's time? It can apply to any and everybody. That's what they apply to. See? So this shows you the mindset of our people. But let me go grab these ones too. Let's grab this Acts 6 and verse 1. Now, it says what? But as the believers, who was these believers? Israelites. Let's read it in the KJV first. And in those days, when the number of the disciples were multiplied, who was the disciples? Those that was learning, those that was being taught, was multiplied. There arose a murmuring of the Grecians. Who was the Grecians? You already know it was Israelites that born in those lands that were speaking Greek. Against the what? Hebrews. Who was those that spoke Hebrew. See, like Barnabas, Simeon, Paul. Calls them, but let's go down to the point, right? Let's read it. Now, when it says what? That they spoke. Now, let me grab this real quick. Let's grab this translation. Come on now. NIV. It says what? You see what it says? In those days, when the number of the disciples were increasing, the Hellenistic Judites among them complained against the Hebrew Judites. See? See? So that's who it was talking about. Those that was being taught, those were people while they was using that word Christianos in Acts 11 to 26. It was referring to our people that was being taught that spoke Greek. See? You have to understand that. You can't be applying the word now. You run around saying, yeah, I'm a Christian. Oh, yeah, really? Really? Is you in those aisles where our people was at? No, you're not. So why you calling yourself that? I'm a Christian. Why you calling yourself that? You don't speak Greek. So why you using that Greek word that they would use Christianos, but you using the same word in English right now and thinking that you applying? No, you don't speak Greek. I'm a Christian. Everybody else, Edomites walking around talking about they're Christian. You got Edomites, got Moab walking around talking about they're Christian. And the Edomites got Ishmael walking around talking about, and he ain't talking about no Israelites. That's Israelites that's among the Israelites. No, we're talking about actual Ishmaelites, Ishmael descendants. They coming over here and talking to get American citizens saying, yes, I'm a Christian. I'm not a Muslim anymore. I'm a Christian. So you joined on to everybody. Man, you Jakes are stupid as hell, man. Just dumb, man. Just dumb. Just dumb. Then I'm going to end it off there. Shalom, Yasharala.